go serious first. Give me your most difficult time, either in life or let's go military. Like, so a stage in the military that was just difficult that you had to kind of persevere. You had to go through. You had to take the recon creed and really like perseverance through adversity. Here I am, pain, misery, and suffering. Let's do it.
I think for me,
At least one that you can talk about
yeah, I think one for me was our '06 tour,
as
2006,
as a leader.
as a leader. Yeah, because again, we had such a the battalion as a whole, as well as our company, did phenomenal things out there. You know, they took out some serious bad guys, but
Well, just what our platoon alone did in Mount
Yeah.
Carmel was amazing.
That's what I'm saying.
I would love to talk about that later.
Yeah, you know, so we had a
From your point of view.
yeah. So the tough part was giving everybody else console with everybody else, and Big Johnson
Yeah.
was probably the worst part of my career as a leader. Was that day that he passed.
Yeah.
Because we got back and then, you know, everybody went to have a vigil there at the
Mm-hmm.
Fallujah Surgical, which I was not a fan for at all.
No, it was I.
You know, it's like this. I think this is too impersonal for me.
Mhm.
The individual did great things in his life, his career within the Marine Corps, and then we had this. I had a platoon. Well, I had two people where it's just we want to do this, we want to do this, and I said I'm against this, but
Mhm.
I looked at reality and said, you know what, this is what these guys need to do to have some kind of, I don't know, solitude, saying, hey, they said their goodbyes properly.
Yeah.
Is to me. But then coming back and then, you know, hearing the guys in the team room and everything, kind of what they're saying, and I was having the same problem with it, but I couldn't talk to nobody about it.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably my lowest point in my career. But my second trip was probably my highest point in my career. One being a master sergeant with the as the ops chief for the battalion, and then two, I bitched loud enough and we got the jump. So for me, on a personal and professional level,
Yeah.
that was my
I remember
highlight.
hearing about that.
Yeah, you know, I got blasted from people in the States. We're out there jumping. They're like, oh, we've been doing that for years. But have you done it consistently? Have you jumped in Iraq and actually trained jumping in Iraq?
Yeah.
No, you haven't.
Yeah.
We did. We were running, hell, we ran 12 10-day packages while we were in Iraq. 12.
Damn.
We had no injuries. The only injury we had was a kid who sprained his ankle jumping off the freaking 7-ton. Once we got back to battalion and unload chutes. That's the only injury we had throughout the entire
Everybody's
piece.
like, wait a minute, this happened? No, this happened.
Yeah.
No.
And the good thing is too, we had all the Marines that were silver shield guys were all gold wings by the time we left.
In Iraq?
In Iraq.
That's cool.
That's how many jumps we did. We did 1,123 individual jumps.
Wow.
Yeah. So for me, that was my high point. And so the two combat tours were my lowest point in my career and my highest point in my career.
Wow.
I mean, I would never change my career for what I did. I mean, I was fortunate.
I always thought we could have jumped. You remember when we killed all those guys at the ASP?
Yeah.
My platoon. I was like, man, we could have jumped into that one. That was an easy jump in.
And that's the
And
thing
we wouldn't
too.
we wouldn't have to land birds in that
No.
desert.
That's the whole thing is
Yeah.
our first two trips when I got over there as the battalion ops chief, we lost 2 vehicles, IEDs. Thank
Yeah.
God we didn't lose anybody, but we
Yeah.
lost 2 vehicles. And I was in the gym running with Sergeant Major Pickering. So me and Ken were running. I was pissed. I'm like, ah. And this taller gentleman next to me is like, you know, hey, Marine, what's going on? I said, this command here is just weak. They're a bunch of pussies. They don't want us to do anything. They're afraid of someone's getting hurt. But yeah, I'll send these guys out, get blown up, and get shot. I said, he goes, I said, I have over $2 million worth of parachutes in my possession right now here in Iraq, and I can't use them. Well, so we get called over to the RCT, and I'm sitting there and I'm arguing with the master guns there. He was a weak sister. He just didn't have the cojones. He wouldn't stand up to anybody. So I did. Next thing I know, this big, tall gentleman who was standing next to me on the treadmill the day before, General Mills, the 2-star.
That's who the guy was.
Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, my throat kind of just like,
Yeah. Like, oh shit.
yeah, like, damn. So tell everybody what you want to do. I said, I want to jump. And the first thing they say to me, like, it's impossible. I'm like, nothing's impossible. I said, if you're going to give me no, it's a reason to not work. That's what you're telling me no for, because you don't want to do this.
So you
the
said
work.
that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said, well, tell us how we can do this. I said, I do a 10-day program. We have the MMPS that
Yeah,
just came out. I said, so we can use these parachutes in different configurations to get everybody to 18,000 feet that are static line qualified. I can
Yeah.
double bag them at 18,000.
Yeah.
There's no way, blah, blah, blah. I said, well, let me know. Well, the air officer will not let you do this. The blue guy.
Yeah.
It's over on Al Assad. Who is he? Oh, it's some colonel over there. Okay. How do someone set up a meeting with me. If I can get him to
Yeah.
approve it, will you allow me to jump? General Mills said, if you can get him to approve it, you can jump. Me and Ron Neal flew to Al Assad. get in the tower where the blue guy sits. We're talking to this gunny, and I said, "Hey, the colonel will be here in a second." It was a lieutenant colonel at the time, though. He wasn't a colonel. So me and Ron are talking and shooting shit, and I hear, "What do you Marines want to do?" And I turn around, it's Kevin Corcoran. Him and I were 2nd Recon Battalion together in the same platoon for 4 years. We were workout buddies. And I was like, "You've got to be kidding me, dude." His first words, "Stu, what do you want to do?" I said, "I want to jump." He says, "Okay, how are we going to do it?" And I laid it all out for him. He said, "Done." Went back and told the RCT that Colonel Corcoran said it was okay. There's no way. He said no to everybody else. And I asked Kevin later on, I said about it. So why'd you say no to everybody else? Because no one came in with a plan. They said they wanted to jump.
With nothing else.
Yeah. Okay, show me your ORM. Show me how you're going to do this, how
Yeah.
you can conduct this training. And I gave him a 5-page PowerPoint brief that had everything lined out to include our schedule, what we wanted to do with C-130s. And from then on, we just jumped.
I mean, it's no different. You were doing that before in the battalion with everybody. Yes.
Well, the whole thing is that no one wants to ask that hard question. If you say, "Well, can I do this?" Well, no. Okay, no is not an answer. It's an
Why?
excuse not to do shit.
Yeah.
Why is no your answer? Well, because I don't know.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
I don't know why I'm telling you no.
You're an old guy. I've been in the Marine Corps a long time.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why they call me the gray beard
So
and Johnny Slick.
give me a really funny story. And like, cause you were pre-war.
Yeah.
You guys did a lot of fun shit back in the day.
We did.
Like you were the crew running around with like MP5s and
With
And-
taped flashlights to the
Yeah,
front of the silencer.
yeah.
Riggers tape.
You guys were doing like SWAT shit back in
Mhm.
the day, you know?
Well, it's funny thing is you say that because when I got the 2nd Recon Battalion, I didn't go to ARS right away. There was other contingencies. So we got picked up for contingency that 2nd Force couldn't do. This was in 1988. So we did a trial piece. It was 63 guys got together and we went
Yeah.
out and we had to shoot and we jumped and we did all this other stuff to get picked for this platoon to go do Praying Mantis.
Okay.
Go plat out in the mid. This is all new to us. We're wearing, flight suits and point blank gear and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We thought we were all that in a bag of chips. And I'm like, we don't know what the fuck we're doing. we're recon boys. Remember then it was JV for recon.
Right.
Your varsity was force recon.
Right. That's
So-
why I was pissed when I had to go to, cause I came into 2nd Force.
Yeah.
Mike McAvoy sent me to
Good old Mac.
2nd. Yeah. And that's how I got into recon.
Yep.
And then I went out, I got orders at 3rd Recon. I was like, what the fuck? I'm a sergeant. Why are you sending me a JV squad?
And I'm telling you right now, 3rd Recon Battalion is the hidden gem within
it's
the
a
Marine Corps.
fucking hidden gem. It was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
If you can patrol
and
the places like that.
and do all the
Yeah.
direct action I was like, the guys that come out of like the recon Marines that come out of 3rd cut above
I agree.
everybody else.
And I've been, on the East Coast, both the force and battalion side, and I know guys from the battalion and force side of the West Coast. And there's no reconnaissance element that trains as hard as they do, or we did.
That's
I'll
all
tell
you
that.
do.
That's all because that's all you had is time.
That's all you had. Yeah.
If you weren't in the Philippines or Thailand training or teaching, you were in Guam doing
Or you were up in the jungle.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
NTA. If you can patrol an NTA, you can patrol anywhere in the world. I
Yeah.
don't give a shit what it was. Because it's hard to walk in some place where it's broad daylight at noon and you get in that triple canopy and you're like, shit, I need MPGs right now.
Yeah.
It's only 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that.
Yeah.
It's just that they're more well-rounded
Yeah.
Marines than they are in the other
And
battalions.
they come back and they can do just about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think for us that we did a great job. I know when I was in Okinawa, how like 5th Force before they disband, how well those guys, they could patrol, they could swim, they could shoot, they could jump,
Yeah.
they could do it all.
Yeah.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
That's
right?
what we're supposed to be.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I think where they were at and where we're at now. I mean, that's what, with MARSOC. I still have a little discontent because you can't start an elite unit with elite shitheads.
Well, it's
Yeah.
been fixed.
Yes, it has been. Without it. The first year I was there, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. I was there to disband MARSOC. I was there
I
to
remember
destroy it.
I remember you even told me that. You're
Yeah.
like, I'm here to fuck this place up.
Yeah, I'm here to destroy it. I'm here to take this common sense, whatever they want to call this shit. These guys that are shitheads that were in most battalions that are now a MARSOC Marine and walk around like peacocks with their chest out. No, dude. Because that ain't happening. I'm putting your fucking feathers back and I'll sit you in your ass because you're not playing.
Yeah.
'Cause you suck. But yeah, again today, I mean, the Marines over at MARSOC, they're phenomenal kids.
Well, I mean,
They're
when
smart.
they took, I mean, it was painful for the reconnaissance. We fucked the reconnaissance community over. Like we
We raped
just
them.
raped them
We
because
did.
you took first and 2nd Force and made them basically 1st and 2nd Raider Battalion now. That's what really helped. It was the first initial thing that helped.
Yeah, once we got the MOS, I think that's where we got better.
And then,
I think too with that, I was in disagreement initially about everybody getting a badge after graduating ITC, because the badges to me associate to insert capabilities or what you do. And then I had to get smart and realize, like, you're a dumbass, dude. I said, this is a badge saying that you're in this unit. It has nothing to do with your jump and your dive and your language.
No, it's your MOS.
Right.
Like an EOD badge and anything else.
So, I mean,
but you got to look at it from, your peers, right?
Yeah.
Like our peers were SEALs and Green Berets and, I think there's some other people out there in the Air Force. I'm not sure what they do.
CCTs and PJs.
I'm just like giving them shit.
That's where I'd go if I were to do it again.
Dude, talk about like getting taken care of.
Oh, yeah.
Those boys are spoiled. I love you, but you're spoiled.
Yeah, and they're good at it. Because in Okinawa, I used to travel with the CTT guys or the PJs to the Philippines and Thailand.
Oh,
they train.
Yeah.
So like
we had them on our teams up in Afghanistan. Came through a lot.
I mean, there's a lot of good dudes. If you look at back in the early 90s, 94, 95, 96 timeframe, a lot of the CCTs and PJs that were in the Air Force were our guys from Force that got out of the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
And that's the direction they went. Kinder, gentler, more money, better facilities, better gear.
Get taken care of. Yeah.
Oh, you woke up in the morning like, hey, make sure that you clean over in that corner there because your maid's in your house now. And the person's supposed to iron your clothes.
And 2 sugars with my espresso.
Yes.
2 sugars.
I mean, everybody makes fun of the Air Force, but I'll tell you what, they do it right.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit what anybody says. They serve our country and they do it right. They take care of their people.
I mean, if my kids say I want to join the military, I'm like, let's go look at the Air Force.
Yes. Let's go look at the Air Force. Because you're doing the same, if anything, the PJs and the CCT guys are doing the same shit we're doing more consistently.
Yeah.
Where we have our bouts, I tell everybody, we get in a conflict like every 8 to 10 years. Yeah. That's how the Marine Corps runs. But those guys are doing it continuously.
Because they're supporting everybody. Yeah.
And they're very well.
Going back to the 80s and the early 90s, give me some history lessons too. What kind of shit went back down back then?
Well, prior to Desert Shield, Desert Storm, obviously we did the Mediterranean floats and stuff.
Don't have to share everything. There's some things that probably don't need to be shared.
We'll share this one because it was a national incident, but international incident. So we were on a med float. Barry Elrod, Mike Muller, and Mike Seeley were my team. And we were in Lisbon, Portugal. On Libbo. We were supposed to be there for 5 days. So my team got the privilege of being on duty the first night in port. Within 2 hours of everybody being out doing their thing, we've been on the water probably about 30, 35 days. We haven't seen a port.
What year is this?
1989.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. We're like, what the fuck's going on? So we go out in the pier. We're in Charlie's because we're on duty with boots and billy clubs because all of a sudden there's a national...
Charlie's and boots?
Yeah, we were in Charlie's standing the gangplank.
Okay.
But all of a sudden this riot came out, the cops against us. So we went back. I told my guys, hey, go back, put fucking shoes, put your boots on. We're going out and whoop some ass. So we're out there with our duty belts, our Charlies on, our ribbons and everything, and billy clubs. And we actually got in a no shit throwdown fight with the cops there because Canadians threw a motorcycle into the water fountain in the middle of town in Lisbon, Portugal, and destroyed it. They blamed it on us. So our guys were getting shot with rubber bullets, kicked in the nuts. I mean, to the point of this guy Erickson got kicked so hard he was bleeding when he was urinating. That's how bad it was. So there's our 200 Marines and sailors that were injured in this riot, if you want to call it that. Our ship's captain, the meds, our battalion, the MU CO was in jail, to include both the religious people were in jail, plus another 40 people. So basically that night, people were coming on the gangplank, bleeding from their face. They had big old welts and all that stuff. People going to the hospital. There was like 400 people total off our boat that were either in jail or were injured in Lisbon, Portugal.
Oh, shit.
The Canadians were parked right behind us on their Harrier boat. So when it all broke out, them bitches loaded, no tow, no nothing, and pulled the hell out of port.
No, of course they did.
I mean, they had no guide boats, pilot boats at all. Packed that shit up, pulled them out, and they were gone. Everybody. So it's like, and we got put on lockdown for another day or two, but it was an international incident. It was bad.
How did it wash out?
They found out the Canadians were the ones that threw the bike through the window and into that pond. It wasn't us.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. We're sorry.
Oh, sorry.
These guys got these big ass rubber ball melts. Like Erickson.
Luckily, nobody died.
We were shocked. We had a kid, Ritterbeck, came in. He had 28 stitches put in his head. He got hit with a billy club while he was out there. And he came back. The only reason he came back, is he wanted to get another billy club or something bigger to go back out and start whipping some ass.
Like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you go see the doc, man.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I thought was probably the funniest float I've ever been on.
What the hell did the Mew commander say after
He
that?
was in jail.
I mean, after when he got out.
Hey, watch your P's and Q's. I mean, the thing was that no one knew what actually happened. We didn't know shit for the first 3 days. Why actually did this event happen? And then finally, the CEO of the boat came on and said, "Hey, this, and this, and this is why." And I totally understood it. I get it. We're in somebody else's country.
Yeah.
We're throwing shit through windows and destroying our damn little neighborhood in Lisbon. Oh my God, beautiful country. And the women, thank God I was single then, were gorgeous. Their dark hair, blue eyes. They had a light skin to them. Oh my God, I'll shut up now. My wife will get mad at me. But I mean, it was just a beautiful country, and we were in there screwing it up. You know, so
Well, the Canadians were.
yeah. No, but it's the funny part was the Canadians were on the pier, kind of bringing people in and helping them triage.
Yeah.
And we're watching this boat. These people running onto this boat, and all of a sudden it's just picking up anchor and it's gone. I was like, what? Don't you need a pilot boat to get? Because it wasn't a big
Yeah.
port we were in. Yeah, to get pushed out and
Nah,
return.
they were like, we're
Nope,
out.
Fuck it, I got this. It's the night. It's like midnight, and they're out. They're gone, pulling out of port. So, and then we found out what the actual thing. I say, I don't blame these people. I don't. Let's see. What's Saudi was a good one. Desert Shield, Desert Storm. Everybody thought it was this holy shit war. It wasn't. It was maybe 24 hours, maybe 36 total.
I sometimes feel bad because I get these vets like, well, I was a Desert Storm, Desert Shield. And I was like, and from my point of view, I'm like, I understand that you did something. I have had patrols in combat last longer than your entire war.
Yes. 110%.
Like
Yes.
one patrol has lasted longer than your entire war.
It comes down to where the old guys say, well, in my day we did this, and you got the young guys going, well, in my day we did this. Why would you do that then? That's fucking dumb. Like, why do you got a gas mask on and a sling rope around your neck running the dunes? For what? What's the purpose for that? To harden you up, to make you harder. You're going, don't do shit. It's not making me hard.
I'm busy getting shot at.
Yeah, it's pissing me off. But exactly, because each conflict, no one can ever compare any conflict we've been in to Vietnam. We just
That's
can't.
what I say.
just- there's
Even
no way.
still to this day, I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm
As
out.
much of the throwdown stuff that
The only thing I say about Vietnam is yes, it was drafted. Most guys did one tour,
I wonder why.
right? And
Yeah.
then we're sending that. My only comparison is you look at the damage that a guy going to Vietnam did in one tour at Vietnam, and we're sending it not anymore, obviously, but during my era, we were sending guys upwards of how many times?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Countless.
right.
So that's my only comparison is like draft, one tour, all volunteer service. I mean, before T died, I mean, I think he was at like 8 or 9 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
And that's the thing too. You gotta look at that back then too, is if you wanted to stay another tour, you could stay, but it was an administrative piece the first couple months. You were back on your second tour in
Yeah.
Vietnam. It is what it was. They didn't know who their enemy was. That's the
Right.
problem. We at least had an identifier. Hey, if you're wearing a tracksuit or driving an Opel, I can fuck you up. Which our guys did.
Yeah.
It's like, well, how do you do that? That's part of the ROEs,
yeah,
But yeah, I still think the Vietnam era guys, I love you to death. I praise you with
still,
all part of my body and soul. We screwed you, and we're still screwing you.
yeah,
The fortunate thing is the guys like yourself that are now coming out saying, "Hey, there's a problem,"
yeah,
and then providing a solution to that problem. They didn't do it in the Vietnam era. My dad, who's 78 now, 78, Vietnam, did a tour. Is nasty. He got shot 6 times. I'm like, dude, if you got shot once, don't you think you want to move so you don't get shot the second time? Like, guys, fuck you. But anyway, those guys.
My grandfather did one. He got drafted in Korea, 2 tours in Vietnam as a paratrooper, and died at 67, basically old age.
Well, it's weird you say that because my father has stage 4 lung cancer. Now he's terminal, right? When
Yeah.
you hear stage 4 lung cancer, hey, your stuff's went in your lymph nodes. You're dead.
Yeah,
That's it. It's a matter of time. Not my fucking dad. He goes and gets 2 treatments of chemotherapy and then 2 treatments of immune therapy. His lung spot that he had was 7.4 centimeters is now 4.3. I said, you're so ornery and miserable that death doesn't want your ass. That's how bad you are. But that's a Vietnam.
that's how
guy.
much of a pain in the ass you are.
Yeah.
That's like,
I mean-
nah, he's too much.
And he bitches, oh, that's not why. I said, you're the only guy. He had it in his lymph nodes.
Yeah.
It's gone.
That's wild.
I was like, so you're telling me that the man upstairs doesn't want your dumb ass? He's just saying, hey, we're going to leave you down here until you.
As long as possible.
Yeah, fucking because I don't want your ass up here.
There's a different level of grit for sure.
Those guys are harder than woodpecker lips.
I mean, that we talk about you guys being hard back then. Like they had the shit the equipment that they had and the care, like even in the like the reconnaissance communities and stuff. Yeah. I'm like, what?
One canteen for 3 days?
What the fuck?
It's like, yeah, I'd have died.
Yeah.
I'd be sucking up my IV bags, which I've done that before.
Yeah.
It's out of control. That's a good story. We're in, I was the second force. We're in Tunisia, and we're doing an op, and we had to get up this big ass hill. We had 3 days to get there. It was 22 clicks total. So a buddy of mine, Tommy Stafford, who went on to do great things with one of the other groups, agencies. So we're walking. We ran out of water like second day. It was hot as fuck. Yeah. We all went out with 10 quarts. So we got to the top of the hill. I think I had a quart left.
Holy shit.
And I think Matt V had a quart left.
In a day?
This is our second day.
Second day.
We had a quart left. So we say, okay, we're almost at our objective. Let's get the objective. Let's get up there. We'll set up and get a resupply in. So we get up there. The resupply is going to come in 11 hours. We have 1 quart of water left for the 4 of us.
And you're already dehydrated.
We're dying.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all definitely no shit into that piece of you're dead.
Yeah.
So I say, okay, we all have IV bags. Everybody carried 2 bags with 2 needles. I said, all right, let's get the IVs out. Let's start to sticking people. I hit Tommy Stafford, got his 2 bags in. And he tries to hit me with my 2 needles. He could not. I'm like, dude, give me that fucking thing. Let me do it myself, for Christ's sake. So I'm using the same needle trying to get it in my veins.
Oh, man.
It got to the point where we just couldn't do it because I was so dehydrated.
Nothing to stick there.
I take both IV bags and pour my 2-quart canteen, put some orange drink into it.
Oh, you drank it?
I drank the whole thing.
Was it LR or saline?
Saline.
Oh.
And it tasted like ass. The worst thing I've ever drank in my life, but I had to do it to survive. Again, things you have to do just to do it. Normally, I'd say, fuck that. Let me get a bottle of water, But then you couldn't. It was just funny because we're all sitting there with IV bags except for Stu with a 2-quart canteen drinking.
Well,
Tommy's like, hey, my bag's out. Yeah, you fucker. Yeah, you change the bag out for you. Fuck. Yeah. But I mean, that's the things you went through. There was no big deal.
Yeah.
But you tell somebody that story and they're kind of like, what? Yeah. I mean, I had to do something to survive. If not,
that's the way it goes.
Yeah. I would have went down for dehydration.
What'd you do during, where were you at in your career during Desert Shield, Desert Storm when you were over there?
I was a corporal. I just got orders to go to second force, but they wouldn't let me execute them until we got back from Desert Shield, Desert Storm. So I went over there as the company supply guy is what my job was. So I had my team that was still there, and then Kevin Corbin and his team. So we were the headquarters team. So there was 8 of us, and that's what we did over there. So
what did you guys do?
We did OP5. So we did all the RNS stuff prior to the breach. So we're the 2nd Recon Battalion, did all the drawings for the breach points. So all the breach points that the Marine Corps went through off OP5, we did all those drawings. So we did all the RNS for that. We actually, once we pushed through the breach point, we moved up to what they call the onion field because they're getting ready for this big thing, the Highway of Death.
Yeah.
They put us out in the onion field by a 6-ring highway.
Yeah.
We watched the B-52s come over. And you talk about an amazing thing in life. You just sit there going, you're looking up at the sky going, holy shit. And then it just opens up. You just see these arcs, flashes all over the place. And the next day, we actually drove to the Highway of Death to help the Brits. I don't know what we're doing. We're out there picking up, I don't know. But there was, between the vehicles and the people that were over there, you could just see the destruction that this stuff laid out. But there was toys and stuffed animals and food. And I mean, it was just for miles. That's what it was. We ran over. I was driving a Humvee and I kind of was maneuvering through, and all of a sudden I saw a stink come up out of the sand. And I was like, what the fuck is that? It was somebody's hand. So I ran over a guy. It was underneath the sand, and his hand popped up.
Yeah.
I was like, this is weird. Take a picture.
That was your pretty much first experience to that kind of world. Yeah.
Yeah. To basically go through that, I mean, we had obviously Michael Cook died over there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you saw the memorials. But he was the only one. That was just something that was just no one could control.
Yeah.
They were missing a grenade. They found it, and when he pulled his dew scare out, it went off.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that he was the only one that was killed during that. You had Woody Gerard and Owens who got peppered about 25 feet in front of where he was. And then a sergeant that was down our patrol line because everybody had their vehicles when they came back
Yeah.
from patrol. Got hit with a piece of strap in the side. Went through his back.
That was a. I remember when we coming into reconnaissance, that was like a big lesson that was
Huge.
still talked about, and the reasons why we had SOPs and the reasons why, and they use that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it probably, as sad as that was, it probably
Saved an assload of lives.
saved an assload of lives. Like the way that they would strap those things on back then compared to
Oh,
what we do
yeah.
it now is like very,
Well, the thing too, we didn't know.
yeah.
You know, you had some guys that still that were around from the Vietnam era, not many. Sergeant Major Duke, who's a legend in his own. I'm going to eventually get him on my podcast to talk to
He's
him.
still alive.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's doing well. Him and his wife doing well. He's just I mean, when he came to us as a staff sergeant, he was a captain in the Army.
Yeah.
Was asked to leave for certain reasons, but his certain reasons were valid.
Yeah.
So he came to the Marine Corps as a staff sergeant, and once he got to us, he got around to who this cat was,
Yeah.
and you kind of like you bowed to him when you saw him. Hey, sorry. Well, then say staff sergeant. So I took him out on a patrol with me to teach me ENR, well E&E stuff,
Yeah.
and ENR now. And that guy had a dog, and he would sneak up in our ORP. We never hear him. He'd be sitting there with his freaking dog, and we're going through. No, you don't want to do that. Be like, what? Where did you come from? I'll get you. Then he'd leave. And a couple hours later, you're in your middle of your patrol. You're setting up your harbor site and you're looking for places to your avenue approach and egress. He goes, "Yeah, that's not good. How are you sneaking up with a dog? You're sneaking up with us in the bush over by the swamp behind Falcon, where Falcon's at.
Yeah.
That's where we were doing our Camp
that-
No Bone.
Those woods are nothing to him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? But again, it's you didn't know what you didn't know,
Yeah.
you know. And unfortunately for him, and we keep his memory alive quite a bit. I mean, we make sure that he's got a street named after him now, and he's
Yeah.
got a few other things that his mom and dad done very well doing, just like the Friskies.
Yeah.
You know, so they take good care of him. But our community still reaches out to those two individuals. Why is that? Because that's just the way we are.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know about today. I don't know what the new guys do, but you always made sure you kept up with the families. Like Corporal Lee is a good example.
Yeah.
You know, tragic as that was, but his parents adopted his dog.
Yeah.
And, you know, I kept in contact with him for a while. I lost, obviously, over a couple of years, but yeah, it's just one of those things.
Well,
Man.
I mean, Gary's spot in Texas is like damn near harbor site for recon Marines.
Yeah.
That place and that their little, it looks like a damn Texas camp. But yeah, I rehad my. Did you ever hear about this? My paddle from Okinawa.
No.
So I had my paddle party when I left Okinawa, and of course these fuckers did it the night before I left.
Yeah.
Like I got a family, I got to get on a plane, and I don't even remember. Was it like 24 hours to get home or something like that?
Yeah, it is 22 to 24 hours.
To
yeah.
get home.
Yep.
So I had a very traditional 3rd Recon paddle party the night before.
Yep.
And I had to basically, I remember Lane and Tony Kano dropped me off in my van at the hotel as the sun's coming up. I'm completely soaking wet. My boots are soaked.
Why is that? It's just a traditional paddle party, isn't it? Why is that?
And they just open the door, chuck me out, and drive off. And I remember stuffing newspapers in my shoes, trying to get them to dry out so they wouldn't be wet on the plane, because we had to basically I had to get my whole family packed up and
Move it.
and move them. Then I'm hammered. My wife at the time was just like, "What the fuck?"
Wouldn't have it any other way though.
No.
So it
Anyway,
develops.
So, anyways, they're gonna send me my paddle, right? I
Right.
can't take it on a plane, so they're gonna pack it up and send it to me. Never shows up. Gone.
Really?
10 years later, Stu, I get a call from Kano. Said, "Hey, dude, you're not gonna believe this. My mom has been living in this place for about a year, and your paddle just showed up to her house."
Really?
Bro, there have been rats crawling through this thing. There's stickers. There's Japanese stickers all over it. Where this paddle went, I have no idea. But it made it back to the States to some random address of Kano's mom.
No kidding.
And so when we went out there and did Gary's, it might have been his 10-year memorial or whatever. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we did a memorial out there. A lot of people showed up. And anyways, they refixed it up and gave it to me then for the second time. But this time I was sober. I didn't drink a drop. So
Good.
yeah,
And that's probably one that hangs more memorable in your
yeah.
paddles than anyone else.
10 years, man. It was gone.
That's weird.
Wild, bro.
But you got it though. That's
I
what's
got
weird
it.
about it. You
I
got
got
the
it.
thing
I
eventually.
got the thing.
Huh.
And it was so freaking good. That was the one that Phil was pissed because that's the one he got with the chaplain. I don't remember the chaplain's name. Our chaplain in Iraq.
Yeah. What else?
He did the coffee thing, the coffee shop for
Yeah.
us.
Oh, this sounds-
And he did it just so that guys would come in there and get coffee so we could talk to him.
Yep.
Brilliant chaplain.
Oh
You
yeah.
know what I mean? But Phil made that paddle. Like he went out and with the chaplain
And made that. Thing.
and made it.
That sounds like
went
Phil.
to the. I mean, I was like, dude. I mean, I get choked up, but yeah,
Yeah. What's weird you say that because paddles are very significant in our
Right.
community. Very significant. Obviously, everybody in the Marine Corps gets one now because that's what they think is cool to do. But anyway, learn the history first. Anyway, besides that,
your paddle sucks.
yeah, it's always seemed like when I was at Force was the worst because we used to spray paint them
yeah,
and do this. This guy out in town used to do them, and they were the paddles. When I first got my paddle, my very first one was in 1991. I got from Second. It was a little sweep. It wasn't
Yeah.
a full sweep, a little sweep. I was like, I was so proud of that thing. Like, yeah, this is great. I get the second Force and I get this long sweep because I was a team leader, obviously.
Yeah.
And just the detail of things in there. And then I
Yeah.
get the one from Third Recon. That's my cherished piece is the one from Third Recon Battalion. It's all driftwood that's been glued together to make my paddle. You know,
Damn.
the significance about paddles, other than the tradition, is the amount of people that put their hands on it.
yeah,
That's when you know how much respect you had
Yeah.
with those guys. And when they presented, oh yeah, there's 32 of us that put our hands on this. I'm like, God knows, you know, for what? What's the purpose for this? But just the thought process of those guys going through
Thank
all
you.
that. Yeah,
so thank you.
I mean, it's the best paddle I have hanging on my wall.
That's awesome.
I mean, it's just one of those things. But again, too, I wish people understood the tradition, why paddles are given out, especially in our community.
And sizes and all the different
Well,
behinds.
just, yeah, short sweep,
Yeah.
long sweep, and stuff.
Yeah.
If people understood the tradition, maybe the paddles that are given out today would have a different meaning.
Yeah.
Those outside of our units, you know. So
The one I got from I like, I mean, both of them, but both of them are amazing. I have two. That Okinawa one though, man, because of how much we did in that amount of time.
yeah,
You know, in 3 years, I went from assistant team leader to a team leader to a platoon sergeant, and that was a lot. And that's
Yeah.
what we kind of talked about in Okinawa. Like, there's a lot of life that happens in Okinawa because how much you do and how fast you do it.
I think too with that, you know who the true leaders are going to be when you're in Okinawa. Put them in certain positions, and you
Yeah.
do it on purpose. Hey, I want to make you a team leader, and you put them out 2, 3 patrols, and the guys come back. You ask questions. Okay, he just doesn't have what it takes.
Yeah,
Like for us, before we left, we had a platoon sergeant that stole all our shit while we were gone. That we had a fire, which never deployed. And then we had another platoon sergeant who had more. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh no, he's a piece of shit. I'm looking for any good
Issues?
word. Issues, yeah.
that's a word.
A man that comes into an office and cries to you because he can't deploy. He can't go to Iraq because it's against his feelings. He has too much trauma. Dude, shut the fuck up.
Well, to be honest, that was probably a good thing that not on that one. We can't.
Yeah, I sit back and think sometimes if I didn't fire him and put Tony in place of him, where we would have been.
devastating.
Yeah, because he was a weak
Devastating.
fucker. And,
Yeah,
you know, Tony is as dry as Tony is. I love him to death, man. I love him. He's one of those guys, he's a one in a lifetime person that you
Yeah.
meet. But, you know, he came out there with balls of fire.
yeah,
And he never, ever strayed from asking a question. Okay, we're doing this op. Like our very
yeah.
first
He
one
got thrown into something that was almost above his head at the time.
way above, way above. And he grew quick.
Had to.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
you know, good on to Davis and Phil for
Yeah.
taking him under his wing and kind of helping him out because he was overwhelmed.
Yeah.
First 2 missions.
How do you not?
Yeah.
How
Hey,
are you not?
Here's a brand new platoon you only been with for less than a
And they
month.
were all babies.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right out of BRC. You know, and to take that platoon and do the things that your platoon did down there, the accolades were. I mean, the
Yeah.
entire my company, we did well.
You did.
That's all I'm gonna say. And it wasn't because of me or Kevin Root, it's because the guys below us. You know, they were super platoon sergeants. We had great team leaders, but there was a camaraderie.
It wasn't even that. Like, I'm thinking about my platoon. Like, we had guys, like the slackmen in our platoon were something. Looking back, I'm just like blown away
They were
at
stellar.
the caliber of
Yeah.
of men that we had in there. I mean, absolutely just mind blowing.
No, and the good thing is that it allows, like for me, in my further in my career, is you could look back on those things and see what type of individuals like that. Like Shane was another one. That guy was just an
That was the
animal.
first person I was thinking about, Remington Shane.
Yeah, it's like this guy. Who is this kid? You
Yeah.
know, he's a fucking beast. And what's funny is he never gave me shit. Not a single bit. Everybody else, he'd fucking throw through a wall. He's a big boy.
Yeah.
I'd be like, if he comes in there, I have to shoot this motherfucker or hit him with a baseball bat. But I mean, just like that, Ernst, I thought was a fucking anybody can sit and learn the language.
I've
in
talked
less than a week.
about Ernst. I've talked about Ernst a lot on podcast.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, Ernst was a borderline serial killer.
Well, the very first that thing where you and your team, we were up by the 6th ring, that Cloverly. We're at that
Yeah,
army
yeah.
base.
Mm-hmm.
You guys got in that big bass firefight, and Ernst finally got to use that was a Mark 12 that we gave him.
M110. Well, it's called the M110 sat. Mark 11.
Mark 11. That's
It was
what
Mark 11 back then. Yeah.
Showing pictures. I'm like, what? He said, I think it was 300 meters, and he
On the
was
move.
Yeah, he's so happy. I was like, dude, that's fucking great.
For those of you who don't know, this guy, he's a grown ass man now, but he was a kid then, I guess.
It was.
He was a radio operator. He was a recon radio operator.
Yep.
And he's so much of a nerd. We got those Mark 11s. He read the manual
Yep.
on the scope and the gun, and basically that was it.
Yeah.
He completely read the manual like it was a novel.
Yep.
Learned everything about the manual, and then smoked some dude egressing from an IED site at like 300 yards out of a truck.
It was like he got his first bicycle, or he
Yeah.
got his first
Yeah.
present, or something. It's like he come in, it's like, Top, you got to see this, and he shows me the pictures. I'm like, okay, this is a little morbid, but okay, I get it. And he explained it to me, like, hey, good on you. But I mean, he also learned the language in less than
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Yep.
I mean,
He spoke. He was in 2 weeks. He was basically our like resident on-site interpreter.
yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He knew all the key phrases to ask. And the 2 interpreters, we had 2 out of the 4 I thought were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I can't remember the one.
Well, one was he was a Kurd, the big guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and so his family a bunch of his family was murdered up north when Saddam gassed them all. So he was a little extra.
It was funny because we weren't allowed to give him guns. We had
Well.
the one Turk with us the one time. I was like, hey, here you go. Gave him an AK. I said, whatever you do, don't stand behind me. Stand alongside of me. So I don't want you fucking shoot me in the head. But yeah, he was just he always thrived to get education. He had to learn. He had to learn everything. And I would ask him, I said, how do you do it? Because I tried to learn the language for like 2 minutes. I'm like, fuck, dude, I can't even speak English. You want me to speak a foreign language, for Christ's sakes? I know habla español. No.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
Shit. So at the end of the day, it's just, again, the caliber of guys that I was exposed to through my 26-year career,
Yeah.
and the people that were in charge of me gave me the foundations that I used through my career.
Yeah.
And especially when I picked up Master Guns. I'm like, I'm at the top of the food chain. You guys use my rank as a whore coin.
Yeah.
You get in any trouble now if you're fucking wrong and you fucked up, I'm gonna have your ass.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that. Everybody,
Yeah.
so I never had to worry about it. But yeah, I'd go chew out sergeant majors for chewing out my guys in line. It's Chow Hall, especially at Stone Bay. Oh, they're all dirty and all stuff. But yeah, we're actually working. We're actually doing training here. So take your happy ass out and get the fuck
You
out
had
of
my
here.
back in Iraq. I don't even remember that. My team got out of patrol.
Is that a Chow Hall?
We went to the chow hall. I got yelled at by some sort, but it wasn't our base. We were at what was the base across the river, across on the other side of Fallujah. I don't remember.
Off the top of my head, I don't. I have an idea what you're talking about. Is there everybody train tracks?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the grunt unit was over there.
Yeah. So I was walking. We had just got out of patrol. It was just my team. We had been in the field for, I don't even know. Like we were fucked up looking, but we hadn't eaten.
Right.
And so we went and like washed our hands and cleaned up as best we could. Sergeant Major lost his shit on me, and I basically told him to fuck off. I was like, listen, my guys are gonna go eat. And it was like a bougie ass chow hall. They had like dessert circles and all kinds of shit in there. I was like, we're definitely crushing all of this.
Yeah, we're eating here
like
today.
pasta buffet, pizza buffet,
Yeah.
And he lost it and was like trying to figure out who he worked for. And I remember you were like, don't, like it got to the command, which I think somebody in the command did have a hard on for it, but whatever. But you came to you and you told me, said, don't worry about it.
Nope.
Done deal.
Well, that's like when we were in Fallujah the one time. I guess it was Tony's guys came back. I met him at the chow hall. It just got back from our two
Engineers.
engineers.
Yeah.
You know, these guys are out. I think it was like almost 12 to 18 hours picking up
Yeah.
body parts.
Yeah.
And they were crushed. You could see it. Their morale, they were
It's
crushed.
horrible, man. That's a horrible. Yeah.
Got him in the chow hall, and the sergeant major comes in. He's just barking. He's yelling at Tony and everything. You know, I'm a master sergeant. I walk up. I say, is there an issue here? And he goes, oh, these guys are all blah, blah. And I just very calmly said, Sergeant Major, you need to fuck off and walk away.
Yeah.
These guys just got done picking up 2 of their best friends for the past 12 hours. These guys are going to go in this chow hall. They're going to eat. When they're done, they will go back to the battalion area, and they will clean up appropriately like they're supposed to. They washed their hands. They made sure they didn't have blood all over their damn hands. I said, they are going to eat. He says, who do you think you are? I said, well, I'm the guy that's going to allow them to eat and then kick your ass for running your mouth. And kind of find out the sergeant major came to Pickering. So I went down to the office, and I told Sergeant, I said, I'm not even going to talk to this fucking clown. The day you criticize my Marines for eating chow is the day that you die in my spot.
Yeah.
You just fuck off, dude. And I was walking out, and, you know, Pick.
Yeah.
He's very political.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Master Sergeant Stuber, we got to do. I said, no, Sergeant Major, this guy's a punk. Yeah. He's a fucking bitch. This is what I'm talking about you E9 Sergeant Majors. You're worthless. We're in combat, for Christ's sakes. These guys just got back from picking up body parts, and you're going to bitch at them for getting chow?
Yeah.
Dude, no. Go back to your pogue fucking post and stay there. Bitch at your Marines for not having blouse boots and their camis are good. Don't bitch these guys because they're in flight suits and they got a little bit of blood on them. Stop.
Welcome to the show, asshole.
Like, I'm sorry. We're in Iraq, are we not? We're in the middle of a combat zone. Is that where we're at? And this happens to be our safe haven. We should be able to do whatever the hell we want in this safe haven. Yeah. So I wasn't too lucky by that Sergeant Major the rest of the tour. But again, I didn't give a shit because my boys were taken care of. I didn't give a shit about nothing else but you guys. That's all I cared about. I mean, I'd stay up 2-3 days straight.
And Nick trimming his mustache.
Yeah. Some people had with regulations within the Marine Corps thinking, well, I'm in combat. What's the big deal?
We were all doing it. Remember Phil's? Like, what the fuck?
I think we all had some decent mustaches going for the longest time. And then when I was corrected, I was like, fuck, I'll just shave mine off. But
that's what you said. You're like, Nick, just shave that shit off.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, man.
Just be done. It's a purpose.
It's my fucking combat mustache.
I have a purpose here. This is part of my garb. So when I suit up, I'm like, okay, let me check out the stash. Yeah, it looks good. I want to trim it a little bit. But again, people get around the axle about stupid little shit. You're in the middle of a combat zone, and these kids are just trying to eat, and you're being a dick about
and
it.
survive.
Yeah,
and keep their friends alive. Yeah,
they're not doing nothing wrong. Okay, because they don't look presentable. They're not in a fucking 5-star restaurant. Okay, I get it. But you know what? Tough shit, dude. Because here's how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I was even worse, though, when I picked up Master Guns. Because unless you had a star on your collar, you didn't talk to me as an officer.
That's awesome, though.
Period. You know, you walk in my office at schoolhouse, had a colonel walk in. He was bitching, complaining. I was like, sir, can I help you? You're Master Gun Stewart? I'm like, yes, I am. He goes, you know, you dropped 2 of my guys. Well, it's probably for a reason. Who are your 2 guys? And he starts yelling. I said, stop. Take your happy ass. Get out, sir. Go see the general. He's my boss. He's a 2-star, sits up on the hill there. Go talk to him about this because I don't have time to listen to you. And I went back down. He starts. So you have 2 options. Get out of my fucking office, or I'll call the general myself. And if he's got to come down here, I don't think he's going to be very happy about that. He might want to. So he went and saw Lefebvre, and Lefebvre came down with him and asked me the questions, and I gave him the answers.
Yeah.
Well, he's like, why did you? I said, because you came in here like a flaming ass bag saying you will do this, and no, I don't work for you. You don't write my fitness report. Oh, what are you? I'm a Master Guns. What are you going to do? Bust me for telling you to get out of my office? Are you sitting me? He's like, well, I said, your 2 guys that you sent over here sucked. Period. They were very weak. They quit. We didn't make them quit. They quit. They rang the bell, and it was time for them to go. Because not everybody's. If everybody could do our job, everybody would be doing it.
Yeah.
Not everybody can.
So that
just accept that.
That brings up a good point. I'm going to create a separate video for it. But when I was going through ARS or RIP in general, but I remember specifically in ARS because I was in that kind of like you. I hit that sweet spot in my career where if I didn't graduate, I had already lost my boat space to my prior MOS.
Right.
So it was either graduate and lat move, or I was done.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Marine Corps could have figured something out, but I mean, I'm a sergeant.
Yeah.
You know? So I was like, I'm going to fucking die here or I'm going to graduate.
Yeah.
And I don't think people understand the mental decision that you're making in training and how physically and mentally difficult that training is. I don't think kids really understand until you've done it.
No, and I think there's no human being out there unless you push your body to its max to figure out what your breaking point. We all have breaking points.
Of course.
Everybody said, no. Every human being has a breaking point.
Yeah.
It's just figuring out that part. When they talk, when you go to SEER school, they talk about those things. What is your breaking point? Well, unless you push your body to where
You won't know.
just goes out or pass out, you're never going to know. You need to know because shit can get bad. And if it gets really bad, you need to be able to sit there and figure that out.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, who are you helping? You're not helping nobody. Like for me, my thing is I have to be strong enough or willing enough to take care of my family.
Mm.
Now, even I'm an old dude and I'm broken as shit, I still do that. And
Yeah.
even my friends around me, guys like yourself, I don't take shit that people talk shit. I just don't appreciate it. It just, to me, it makes no sense to badger somebody because, you don't like them. Okay. So again, do you sleep with me and pay me? No, you don't. So I don't really care what you think of me.
Yeah.
And like I probably have like 20 close friends that I will go to battle for. That's just the way it is. And I have some other ones, good acquaintances that I would do the same for. But yeah, you need to push yourself. You mention all the time. What is your purpose in life?
Yeah.
Why are you here? Why are you existing?
Well, in that time for me, that was it. I was like, I'm either going to drop dead on this road with this freaking ruck on my back or I'm going to make it.
Yeah.
But there's no quit.
Yeah.
It's either die
Yeah.
and get the silver bullet by the dock later on.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna cross the finish line and I'm gonna graduate.
Yeah, I agree. And you have to, again, you have to push your body. You got to push yourself, both mind and body. I tell everybody I have a 25-year-old mind.
Yeah.
I'm a little kid. Ask my wife. I'm a little kid. But from my neck down, that bitch is 95.
But I was gonna say, I think you've gotten younger as you've gotten older.
I ask my wife, she'll say, yeah. I mean, I do stupid shit at the house. I'll go jump in the pool for no reason at all. I'll be sitting there playing with the grandkid.
Yeah.
And just do stupid shit with him. I'll be rolling. And I shouldn't be doing tumble rolls or anything like to help him out on the floor. Because it hurts like hell when I do that little tumble and try to get up off the floor. Now I'm like, I need like pull up bars and shit to get my ass up. But no, I have a 25-year-old mentality. I really do. I mean, I believe I can still do anything that I used to be able to do until I do it. And then my body says, hey, dumbass, you can't do this.
That hurts.
Yeah. Real bad.
Yeah.
But that's
nothing with little growth hormones, some stem cells can't fix.
I'll take them.
Yeah.
Where they at? You got them here?
Yeah. I got a guy.
I got a guy. You know a guy.
I know a guy.
I know a guy. But again, today, and this goes back to a question that was asked to me years ago. What do you think is different today than it was 40 years ago? The amount of food that we take in our bodies.
Yeah.
First off. And from that food, depending on where you get it from, the amount of nutrients or byproducts that are in those to conserve them so they last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the issue is. My grandparents, they used ivory soap to brush their teeth every single day. They didn't use toothbrushes or toothpaste. That's what they used. Never had a cavity. They ate bacon and eggs every morning. And my grandmother would always have the bacon grease. And that's what she used for everything.
Yeah.
My grandfather at night would eat a gallon of ice cream with us grandkids and smoke a cigar. He lived till he was 68. And the reason he died is he went and got a physical. They found pancreatic cancer.
Hmm.
And because they found it when they went to open them up, everybody doesn't know this. If you have cancer in your body, it's not exposed to air. The spreading doesn't spread as quick as it does or metastasize as fast as it does. As soon as it hits air, it metastasizes. It just goes ballistic because it's received the nutrients it needs air. And he died within 6 weeks.
Fuck.
But I mean, he lived life the way life was supposed to be. He drank, he ate whatever he wanted because there wasn't all this preservative shit in our food. It was all natural. Now, I mean,
none of our food is natural unless you have to pay and seek. You have to go find it.
Yeah, you do.
You really
unless you have your own farm, growing your own
Yeah.
vegetables, and killing your own meat.
Yeah.
Period. That's the way it is. And unfortunately, that's where we're at today. The society. I wonder why our obesity. Well, let's be honest. I love Wendy's hamburgers and their French fries. Hands down, we'll do it in a heartbeat.
Stu, they're not good for you.
I know
They're killing you.
Not only killing me, but I don't do it that often. I'll do it once in a while just to preserve my body perfection.
No, you're right. A lot has changed. Look at just the physical movement of a young man. What it used to be, even my time, in the 80s, 90s as a kid, versus now.
Yeah,
they don't move.
Well, look at Mars. All special forces, let's say SOCOM, has a program to help our athletes because they're our
Mhm.
professional athletes,
Yeah.
help them recover and help them build
Yeah.
accordingly. If we had that when I first came in the Marine Corps,
Oh,
you
shit.
know, all the way up to this point, I
You
probably
would
wouldn't be as bad as I am now.
no. I mean, that was even and Josh and I talk about that all the time. It's like they really just got that on the tail end of us.
Yeah.
It showed up as we were leaving, and we were like, oh, that must be nice
No,
because I
yeah.
did it the fucking stupid way. I did it your way.
Yeah.
I was like,
I can do this faster.
just
more.
do it harder and more.
You tweak your shoulder like, screw it, just push through it, and then you go find, yeah, you have a torn labrum and your bicep tendon is ruptured.
And it's been that way for 8 years.
Yeah, it's like, well, my second tour to Iraq, I ruptured my bicep.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I'm at the hospital. Thank God. Dana Offer, if you listen, I love you. I will marry you when you divorce. They actually said that you're not going to Iraq. And I told them I am going to Iraq because I was flying out the next day. I am going to Iraq. It's a personal thing. I'm a master sergeant taking a battalion to combat. As a battalion ops chief, I'm not passing that shit up. Not even close. They literally pushed my bicep back up to a point where they ace-bandaged it and down for, I don't remember flying to Iraq. I have no clue. I got on a plane in Kadena.
So it wasn't attached?
No, it detached. It sat right here
When
So-
did you get it attached?
when I got back.
Did you do the whole deployment with
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I worked out. I came back leaner than I was before I went. And I was in pretty good shape before I left. Yeah. I came back leaner. So I went to go do the surgery. The doc's like, how in the hell did you do this? I said, you gave me some pain pills. I taped it up for that 2 weeks you told me to. I took it off and started doing pull-ups and push-ups and stuff.
And then they reattached it later.
Yeah. Then went back and reattached it.
Holy shit.
It's
man.
like stew. I have a Popeye. It's attached right here.
Yeah.
But same with this one. I ruptured both triceps, both biceps. Both shoulders have been repaired 4 times each. I have a plate in my neck. I have my knee replaced twice. I've rebuilt my thumb and they rebuilt my elbow. That's just in the Marine Corps.
Damn.
But I'm fine.
I feel like you just need to start replacing you with like enhanced cyborg parts.
Well, my wife now got me this new it's called Oil IV.
Yeah.
So it's a bag that I put on my top of my bed. So when I wake up in the morning, I just tap into my PICC line and it puts oil through my body so I can
So you can move around.
Yeah. So I told somebody that once. I said, they're like, where's your PICC line at? I said, it's right there. See it? I was like, no. Oh, you're joking. Well, yeah, I'm joking. What do you think? I get up in the morning and put freaking oil on my damn body?
Change out my my gyros.
Yeah, I can't change the tires. The engine's already shot, so it doesn't matter there. It's just maintaining it. You know, this classic vehicle I got going on here.
So how did they find this podcast?
Espeto?
Yeah.
Gentleman named Dan Sharp.
Okay.
Had it. He started, I think it was 2016, I think ish. He started it. Guy's brilliant. He can write his butt off, something I can't do. So he was using it as an outlet for, veterans as well.
Yeah.
But also too, to have some raunchiness in there and tell some, raunchy stories like we do.
Have some fun.
Had some fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But also put an awareness to it. So Espeto saw it and said, hey, let's buy this company and let's bring somebody on that is older.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more experienced, but is not as brilliant as Dan. So guess who they picked? Me. Because I can talk to anybody. I never met a stranger. And what their thing is that we're trying to do awareness as well.
Okay.
So anything that has to do with first responders or the military, like I said, the 5 pillars, is give awareness and help the transition piece. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, no matter what thing you're into, to transition from that job to something new or to retirement,
It's an identity shift.
oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
It's weird how you go from 100 miles an hour and you say, it can't happen to me. I'm here to tell you, it happens
Yeah,
to you.
sure, bud.
At the end of the day, because you don't have a purpose. That's where the why comes in. What do I do now? Why am I here? What's my purpose now? And finding
Yeah.
purpose. It took me a while when I got out of the Marine Corps.
Well, yeah, and the reason what happens is if you don't know that, then you're seeking pleasure. You're trying to feel good. And
Yeah.
anytime you just,
You ruin your whole family.
you're gonna ruin your whole family.
And that's what people miss is that if you got an issue and if your spouse, I don't give a shit your male or female, your spouse says something to you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're getting meaner. You're getting, like, for my things, you're being very condescending.
Yeah.
Why are you doing it? And I'm like, I'm not. And then when they tape you during that portion of that conversation, you think you're not doing stupid shit and you
Yeah.
listen to it, you're going, hey, honey, I apologize.
I'm an asshole.
Yeah. I didn't realize I was being that much of a clown.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for my wife telling me that and taping me because, she knows who I am and saying, here's what you are now. I was like, I don't like that person.
No, yeah.
That's when I went in the mirror and smiled at myself. Said, "Hey, yeah, let's go, motherfucker. I'm
Yeah.
ready to go now." But you have to have that. If no one gives you, if you're around the people that will not give you criticism and you don't accept it,
That's all I say it all the time.
You're a fucking idiot.
Like, why? If I care about you, why would I not hold you accountable?
Why can't I be honest with you?
Yeah.
If there's something like, hey, Nick,
because I'm gonna hurt your feelings.
Yeah, I don't like the way your beard is trimmed down the right way. Okay. But the point is, you have a lot of successful people that have yes people around them. You cannot have yes people. You have to have a couple no people around you that you trust. You know, a lot of these clowns out there that are making it big on social media and other things, they have all yes people around them. They're not telling you you're jacked up like 2 football bats.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with today. Be honest with people. If you're jacked up, tell them they're jacked up. Because at the end of the day, you might do something stupid that's going to affect everybody across the board and not know it. And that's going to hurt. Because then you're left with...
Well, I think maybe 30 years ago, maybe more than 20 years ago, we definitely had a community of men that would hold other men accountable. And now everyone's it's none of my business. I'm going to stay out of it.
They feel like they're on eggshells.
Yeah.
I can't say nothing. No, you can.
You can.
If
you care, if you don't care about them, then no, don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you anything.
Don't waste your breath.
Don't waste my breath.
Yeah.
But if I care about you, then I'm going to be like, hey, dude, you're fucking up and you need to get your shit together.
And sometimes that hard loving is the best loving you can get.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize that's what's good about Espeto is they're seeing I wouldn't say issues or problems, but they see the way things are going right now in the climate, whether it's political, religion, or just anything else. And they're trying to figure out, okay, how can we get involved to help? We're not trying to change nothing. We're just trying to give you outlets to help you. Because if you could do that, I mean, you've been very successful doing it. That's what your business is.
Yeah.
It's helping individuals be their best that they can be.
Best they can be.
So,
but it's not even for them.
No.
It's for the people around them.
Yes, exactly. And that's the thing. I think I'm a very good guy. I'm a great guy. But there's people around me who don't think that so much. Okay, well, I need to then change something or fix something. I don't think it's broken, but fix something to make it so everybody is good.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I don't care what you think about me. I don't. Because when I die, I'm at peace. Because I know what I've done up to this point. I could die today and be happy because I've done everything I tried to do. I've done for myself and others to make sure everybody else is successful around me. If it has to be for me taking a bow or something like that, well, then I'll do it. But you got to make sure that you're happy with yourself. You can't love nobody if you don't love yourself.
And that all comes from internal anyway. Yeah. No one's going to make you happy.
No. You could have the best wife or the best girlfriend.
Be unhappy.
Yeah, be unhappy. Yeah. That's why I understand. I see sometimes I got a buddy of mine, good dude. He's just a dick, but he's a good dude. He's got a gorgeous wife, makes great money. I mean, she's the breadwinner in the family, and he divorced her because he was not going to wear an apron. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? I would have a thong on, an apron, dinner would be ready, flowers. I'd give her a massage at night, massage her feet. Because you know what? She's supplying for us. My job now is to make sure she's taken care of. I can't do that. Men don't do that. No, dumbasses, men don't do that. Real men will stand up to take the challenge. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Again, this goes back again. Your ego and pride is keeping you in the way of progress.
Yeah.
Fucking let that shit go, man.
Yeah, you don't.
What a fucking waste.
You know, like the thing is, I tell everybody, I can usually pick out a guy who's in special forces or has done something special in their life with either law enforcement or military. Yeah. You can see it in their eyes. And guys have been downrange, you can definitely tell they were downrange just because of the gleam they have in their eye. There's something about it. Like, how can you do that? It's easy. You just look at them and talk to them, and their mannerisms, the way they conduct themselves in front of you, will let you know if they've done something special in their life. And for me, I just think it's kind of a trait. I can usually pick that out. Like, that's why I hate SHOT Show.
Is that still a thing?
Yeah, I'll be going there this year.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna do a couple live podcasts out there. So if you're out there, you need to come and see me anyway. That's why I tell people when they ask me, what do you do for a living in the Marine Corps? A culinary arts specialist. I was a cook. Because as soon as you venture out and say, yeah, I was a recon guy my entire career. Oh yeah, I'm with the 82nd Airborne Ranger Sniper guys. What the fuck does that mean to begin with? That's the whole piece, is that I don't need to give you my accolades. If you can't talk to me like a man, to me as a man, I don't want to hear your story. I had one, last time I went to SHOT Show was 3 years ago. This guy came up, all garb. So he's got the 511 jeans on, the boots, and all the quick release shit and all that crap. And yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He comes up to our booth. It's me and this great guy, Tom Smith. I love him to death. That guy's got some stories. SF cat. He was a second force back in the day. Got out and traded in blues for greens.
There's a lot of guys that did that
Yeah,
back then. Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
I probably would have did it if I was going to drill school. But first thing he says to us is like, "So what you guys do in the military?" Tom Smith walks off and leaves me standing there. I'm like, "You fucker." I said, I was a cook in the Marine Corps. Oh, really? So you know this gear? I said, well, yeah, I read about it, and I kind of seen it on TV, and I play Halo, and I stayed at the Holiday Inn Express last night, so I'm pretty versed on this gear. Why? Because he's starting to throw these lingo stuff out of me, and right away I knew that he was not in any of those units.
Yeah.
Just the way he was talking, and I just finally put my head down. I said, dude, you need to shut the fuck up because you're worthless. So what you do in the Army? I was in the Ranger Battalion. Okay, what Ranger bat? Blah blah blah. So I said, no, it's impossible. There's nobody. You will not be in any special forces in any military whatsoever. You don't have the look or the heart.
Yeah.
You're that guy that follows somebody's coattails. You're a follower. You're not a leader. You got to be.
First of all, if you're a Ranger, you're walking in probably shorts, flip flops, and a t-shirt,
Exactly.
maybe a tank top at SHOT Show.
Yeah, and you're not going to run your mouth and saying I was this, that, and the other thing.
No, you're trying to get out of SHOT Show. Is what you're trying to do. Yeah, where's the fucking door to this place?
What party is tonight? I'm going to what party?
Yeah.
I'm heading over to Point Blank's party today, or HESCO, or whatever.
Yeah.
It is. But
Who's got the weed here? That's
yeah. Where's the dispensary at? That's the first thing I hit when I get in Vegas. I hit the dispensary. But no, it's just like, why do you have to say that? Why do you have to put yourself bigger than what you are? You're not impressing me because I can't do shit for you. I'm not going to write you a check to go party somewhere. It's just not happening. So what's the purpose for this? I tell everybody, I hear more recon snipers than I've ever heard in my entire life. And the fact is that since like the mid 90s till present, there's only been 312 recon Marines that are sniper qualified.
no shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there's thousands of people that are recon snipers. There's no such fucking thing. You're a reconnaissance Marine and went to sniper school.
Yeah.
Or you're a reconnaissance guy or a MARSOC guy that went to the schools. You're not. As soon as you tell me, I went to.
Nobody would ever say that.
No.
Nobody's gonna walk up and be like, "I'm this."
So when you went to the school to get your bubble, what's that called?
Dive school.
Dive school. You call it scuba school?
No.
No. So you tell me you went to scuba school. I know you're full of fucking shit. And this guy's like, yeah, I went in Pearl Harbor. What year? Oh, 99, 2002. Nope, you're full of shit. You closed in 96. I'm telling you right now, you didn't fucking go to scuba school there.
Scuba school.
And they're like, then, yeah, I was at parachuting school. No one that went to jump school says parachuting school. I don't give a fuck who you are. You just don't. There's key words that these clowns say that are wrong. And guys like me are going to pick it up on a heartbeat. And I'm super nice in the beginning until you start really getting under my last skin.
Why do you even want to deal with stuff like that?
It makes them bigger than they are. And I've been told, and this is probably true, because I did that my entire career, I think I'm better than the person I'm sitting in front of. So why would I do that? My career was my career. It benefited me and me only. Oh, my family too. But, why would I have to go out and preach that to everybody? Like Robert and Abbas, the owners of Espeto. These kids, I'm sorry, Robert and Abbas, to call you kids. They're the same age as my son, so that's why I call them kids.
Yeah.
They're brilliant. I've never met two businessmen in my entire life as brilliant as these two, because they look at everything on the ground like they're like you with your team. They're interactive with their team. They talk to them. They find out what's going on. They allow them to speak their piece.
Yeah.
And they figure what the industry is doing, how they can fix it when they come out with their quick release system. People were all against it. It was brilliant the way they did it, because our emergency procedures are one way. We do for everything.
Yeah.
It's out and away. We pull it out and away from our body.
Yeah.
That's why their quick release system works, because they listen to the end users and everybody else. Now they went from the tactical side to technical. So they're doing the cybersecurity, they're doing the intel stuff. They're doing all that because they see what the dynamics is for them as a company, that they have to grow that way.
Yeah.
That's the thing with this podcast that they wanted me to do is, it allows us just to put a message out across the board. Tell some good stories and talk to some great people. But put that piece out there to let them know that there's somebody out there that's listening to you. All you got to do is respond.
Yeah.
Just respond back. And we can help you transition. For me, it's because I know you so well. If I have people like that, I can always refer them after I talk to you first, this direction, because this is your forte.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy in the middle that's just putting out a message. That is it. And so I don't need to prove myself to nobody.
No, you definitely do not need to prove yourself to anyone.
That's what I say.
And anybody that ever thinks that's a fucking idiot.
I know, but I get it though. I get it a lot. Why can't you tell people what you do for a living? Because it's none of your fucking business, dude. I don't. For me to tell you my accolades, first, I can't. It's hard for me to talk about myself in that type of light.
Yeah.
But secondly, it's no concern of yours. You had no impact on my career whatsoever. And right now, talking shit is
Yeah.
totally wrong. That's the only thing you
Yeah.
have right now. I'm not going to entertain it. Just won't do it. I'll walk away.
Life's too short, man.
Life's too short, and I had too many people around me that love me.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And the part from my lowest point, nearly killing myself, it's just if it wasn't good friends of mine that were at the table at the time,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here. And that's just the reality. I'm a strong individual. I am.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just have my breaking point too. It just gets to that point.
Everybody, like you said, everybody does.
Yeah, you have that
Yeah.
part of my background. It's just you can't figure out when the wall falls in. Those two walls just kind of collapsing on you. You're like, shit, how did this happen? When
And
things are going so well.
here's what's really shitty is everybody thinks they're a unique little butterfly going through their own little world of hurt.
No,
It's like, dude,
you have no idea.
you're fucking everybody. Like, welcome to the show, son.
Yeah,
You know
no
what I
shit.
mean?
Take
Like,
a front seat right here. Sit
yeah.
down.
And I think that's the worst part, right? The worst part is people think that it's isolated to themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't understand. No, dude, you're not special. Welcome to the show. Everybody's dealing with it.
Yep.
Stop being a bitch and start talking to people.
That's a key. Talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't. Why?
Why?
Because you're a dude?
Your best friend's probably going through the same thing,
Yeah.
and you guys aren't even talking about it.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. I talked to when I got out, because I went through the whole Iraq thing.
Yep.
And then I just moved on, and then I moved on again and moved on again, and then finally I got out. Years later, almost 6 years later, I got out, and I started having some weird things started happening, and so I called Tony Kano.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, dude, this is gonna sound weird. I saw this, and I thought I saw Gary Johnson,
Right.
like in a crowd. Like I started picturing him,
Really?
yeah, like physically, like
Yeah.
there. Like I would walk
Very
past
vivid.
something, yeah, and he'd be standing there, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And so I started seeing that, and maybe it was just maybe it was starting to catch up, and it was just on my mind, and those sort of all the things that had
You
happened.
had time to think.
Yeah, because we all just moved on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it stops. And that's where I talk about in the book where it's like, you're moving 300 miles an hour and you get out and it's like, done.
You're not even moving.
Not even moving. And then, but all that, it's like a train. The caboose is still going 300 miles an hour. It's going to hit you right in the back of the head. So I called him. I'm like, dude, this is some weird shit, man. I'm trying to kind of process it and struggling. And he goes, bro, welcome to the fucking show. Your whole platoon, because all those young guys, a lot of them got out afterwards.
Yeah, they did.
He said, dude, guys have been dealing with this shit for years.
Yeah. You don't know.
I didn't know.
Yeah. And I'm hoping that our guys are smart enough because there's enough people that were around them in their career and after that they can pick a phone up and call somebody.
Yeah.
Because at the
Well, I
end of the
did.
day,
I called Cam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I screwed up. I mean, my part was going through all these surgeries. I was hooked to oxycodone like it was no tomorrow. I was doing probably between 12 and 14 pills a day.
Fuck.
I didn't dabble
It
in
completely changes everything.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, I was delirious. There was things I was saying and doing, and I had no clue I was doing. And my wife, again, love her to death, would say, hey, dumbass, and show me pictures or recordings. And I'd be like, why didn't you slap me in the head when that happened?
Yeah.
I mean, that makes no damn sense. But again, I had to be the prideful guy and make a phone call or two. That's what's good about Phil. I go to see him once a month, so I got issues. Him and I'll get shitty drunk, and we'll solve the world's problems.
Oh, Phil's got tons of solutions, right?
Oh, yeah. So is Ron Neal. Ron Neal, the goon. I talked to him quite a bit, too.
I wanted to show you. So Tony Kano is a tier 1 client in the Agoge.
Is he really?
Yeah, he came on, and he's
How do you get? So how many tiers do you have?
5 tiers.
What's the lowest?
Tier 5.
Oh, okay. So
it's a start.
Oh, it's a start point.
Yeah,
Sweet.
we actually haven't even launched tier 5. Tier 5 is an app-based kind of program, low level, like
I want the hardest level you got. No.
tier 1. It's expensive.
Mm.
Anyways, he came on. Well, actually, he started at tier 4 and leveled his way up, and now him and his brother are both tier 1 clients. But look at that shit.
Holy shit!
How fucking amazing is that?
He don't even look like the same dude.
Yeah, his whole fucking life has changed.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And see, he's got a pair of shorts on with his shirt off. You know what I'm saying? That's what we do.
We go back to that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you just get back to be getting naked.
Yeah, take your shit off. That's just funny you say get naked. I was at a party couple months ago, and we were having a good time, and everybody's like, what can you do to make things more exciting? I'm like, why do I got to do something? Because we heard you're crazy. And I just met some of these guys the first time. I said, no, I just do what the normal dudes do when you're out partying with your buddies.
Yeah.
So I said, fuck it. Took my shirt off, took my shoes off. I had a pair of shorts on, obviously. I got up on the table and I was just dancing. Now, you got this fat dude. I weighed about 315 pounds at that time.
Damn.
Yeah, I got to 315. I'm down to 265.
It's more your normal. Close to your normal.
I'd like to get down to 235.
We're going to make that happen.
That's where my
I'm gonna dig deep a little bit.
Good fighting weight is.
Yeah.
But it's just weird how they looked at me because I'm the wild one. I'm like, how out of all you guys, some of them were college kids too.
Yeah.
You look at the old guy to be the wild one around here.
Yeah.
I'm a big flirt. If I see these guys are talking about a hot chick, I'll just walk up to her and start talking to her, bring her to the table. I have nothing to do with her, but just to prove a point.
Because they're all scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's she gonna do to you? Say no? It's like the old saying, you can ask 10 chicks, hey, do you want to fuck? At least 1 out of 10 is going to say yes. You're going to get smacked a shitload of times, but you're going to get one that's going to say yes.
You're going to win one time.
One time. So until you get to that point.
You got to fail 9 times before you get to the success.
Exactly. And that's the whole thing. You
can't be scared to fail.
Yeah. You can't be afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah.
The catastrophic ones, yes. When you get to that point, and you might want to think a little bit before you make that decision.
Yeah.
It's going to be catastrophic at the end. But again, you can't go through life. What if? That's a big. What if I had done this? Well, what if grasshoppers have machine guns? Birds wouldn't fuck with them. What if that happened? This isn't horseshoes. What do you mean by what if? What's this mean to me? What if that? So don't have the what if.
Yeah,
just go do it.
What if? Yes. What if? Yes. Yep. That's it.
Yeah,
yes.
I was gonna go join recon.
Oh my god.
But I couldn't.
You don't have to get down that thing.
What's that?
I wish I had $1 for every time I heard that.
I would be rich. I'd be sitting in the Caribbean islands right now, my own fucking island, sitting there shooting the shit, drinking a beer. But no, it comes down to the core pieces of Nick Kumalatos is why am I here? What's my purpose?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do I be successful? Well, you got to fail in order to be successful.
That's it.
In order to do that, you listen to people like yourself that's been through that trial and tribulation and put your pieces out because you do. You're not afraid to put it out in the airs. Of here's where we were, here's where we are, and here's why.
Yeah.
And people don't listen to that.
And where are we going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got some fucking troll bitch saying something that doesn't even know who you are, just happens to know you by name, running their fucking mouth, and then I get pissed off.
I just go, okay.
Yeah. Nick, okay. I'm like, classic, but no, this stops here, bitches. I am not listening to this bullshit no more.
I love it.
I just get.
I get it on all fronts, man. Training, nutrition, military, talking about testosterone. They're like, oh, you're going to die from whatever. I'm like, okay.
If you're taking steroids, you might. But the testosterone today, because I was on the programs, a couple programs throughout my life, they're very beneficial.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're under the right guidance.
Well, I think what people are talking about is like anabolic SARMs, steroids. Like the people that are like 17 times the dosage that these bodybuilders do.
Yeah, they're
like,
stacking their asses off.
Like first of all, those are medications meant for horses.
Yes.
That's not what we're talking about. Yeah. But whatever. But I every time they say something, either articulate yourself or I'm just going to say okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for your algorithm push on my business.
See, people don't understand that.
No, they don't
behind
understand
the scenes.
That. Yeah.
I'm dogging Nick Kumalatos or I'm dogging Stu.
No, you're just making.
But my algorithm's on the backside saying, dog the fuck out of me right now.
So there's a company called Lions Not Sheep. The most baller ass move I've ever seen. You ready for this?
Yeah.
We can end the podcast on this. Baller ass move. So they come under hot water about some stupid shit. Whatever. I don't care. I don't care if you know what I'm talking about. Listen, I don't give a fuck. Okay. That's not the point. So he got fined and some money, and there was a bunch of press out there that's like writing articles about him getting fined. And so what does he do? He goes and works with his ad buyer, and in the article trashing him, he puts ads for all of his shit.
No shit.
In the articles trash him.
That's perfect marketing.
Fucking perfect.
That's called brilliancy. Right?
Brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
And then he posted the revenue that he got that month. It's through the fucking roof.
and people are dogging him for doing that. Yeah. And he still continued doing it, making money. It's like, well, bring it on then, dumbasses.
Yeah, if you really truly hate somebody, fucking ignore him.
Yes. Ignore him or go see him face to face. Don't be a bitch online. Don't be that guy. But, well, Nick, it was a pleasure to
Yeah,
have you on.
thanks.
I appreciate talking to me. I
Yeah.
hope we can do this again sometime
Absolutely.
soon because I know you're a busy dude. I'm not.
I am extremely busy.
Yeah, I'm not.
I would have it no other way.
Yeah. But with that said, Smoke Pit, you can thank Nick Kumalaz and check him out on what platforms for your
All of 'em.
podcasts? All of them. Yeah,
All
we're the
of 'em.
same way. All of them. So
Whatever you want to stream, whatever your streaming choice is,
you're
we're
on.
there.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what matters. So for the Smoke Pit, our next guest here in a couple days will be John Douglas from the Mine Hunters. We'll have an interview with him in the next couple weeks. So until that time, I'm Stu, the Gray Beer veteran. Have a great day. And remember, you can't smile yourself in the mirror, turn around and go back to bed. Try it again. That's all I got.